What's going on, guys? It's Taylor of Pre-War Pickers back again with a video that I'm super excited to share with y'all. For a long time now, I've stored my T206 collection in like a nice cigar box, and I've really been wanting a nice display case recently. So I figured with the cold weather, it was the perfect time to sort of take action on that and get with my dad, who does a lot of woodworking stuff as kind of like his main hobby. So I showed him the Pinzoni 36 count graded card display as kind of our reference and kind of went from there. So luckily, with the freezing temperatures that we had, we were able to knock it out. So I'm about to flip the camera around and show you what we were able to come up with. So there she is, guys. That is the new T206 display case. We built it off the specs of that Pinzoni 36 count graded card display case, but I'm only gonna have 32 in there, so it's gonna be 8 cards across on each row. I do have my reference here. I drew this out the other day of how exactly I want it. So the top row there is gonna be my 8 Southern Leaguers that are pictured all on teams, either in Georgia or Florida, just nearby my hometown. So that row is actually already complete. Got Viola Mullaney from Jacksonville, Ernie Howard from Savannah, Lafitte from Macon, Cad Coles from Augusta, Sid Smith and Dutch Jordan there from Atlanta. And then on the end, we've got Ed Foster, who is technically not pictured on a Georgia or Florida team, but those two guys right there actually played on like a C-level minor league team in my hometown of Brunswick, Georgia. So definitely had to throw him in there, and that made a perfect 8. So that was perfect. And then the rest of the way is going to be all of the Hall of Famers that I believe are worthy of a spot in the Hall of Fame. So as you can kind of tell, that second row is going to be the elite dead ball pitchers, and then that next row is going to be kind of the heavy hitters of the dead ball era. So on the pitcher's row, I'm going to have another Mordecai Brown there. I want one of his action shots, since that's my favorite player of the dead ball era. I figured I'd throw in 2 of him. So it's going to be both Browns, Mathewson, Johnson, Cy Young, Walsh, and Waddell, and then Addie Joss. And then on the heavy hitters row, we're going to have Bresnahan, Eddie Collins, Crawford. Next to Crawford, you got to put Ty Cobb, Tris Speaker, Nap LaJoie, Keeler, and Hugh Duffy. And then the bottom row, you have got the famous Tinkers, Devers, DeChance, Cubs infield trio, and then finishing it off with kind of the guys who are in the Hall of Fame for mainly their time as managers / executives of teams in the dead ball era, and some even longer than that. But so you've got Griffith. Beside him will be Miller Huggins, who is actually supposed to come in tomorrow. John McGraw, Huey Jennings, and finishing it off with Fred Clark. So yeah, guys, that will be the full display once complete. It's going to be really fun filling this thing out. It looks great already. I can't imagine it when it's fully complete with all the cards, and really when they're all in the same slab. I really do want that full uniform look. So I really got to make up my mind which slab I want them all in. But that's it so far. The base of it is just regular plywood that we stained, and then the frame and the shelves are monkey pod, which is like an exotic wood that comes from Costa Rica that my dad uses for a lot of his like woodworking little side projects. But another thing I wanted to throw into this video is something that came in today. This is a book that a fellow Facebook group member reached out to me and said that he had, after I guess he found out that Three Finger Brown was my favorite dead baller. So he said he had already read it, and just if I paid for shipping, he would send it to me. So super excited to get dove into that book. And then while we're on the short topic of books, I wanted to throw this into the video. I've already read this, but if you have not, I highly recommend it. It's probably the best book out there that covers the dead ball era. It's a bunch of different conversations that were had with some of the main guys of the dead ball era, and some a little bit past. But it really just talks about how it was growing up in that era, playing baseball, how the game evolved, just so much information packed into this book. So highly recommend. But yeah, guys, I no longer have to take all my T206s out of a cigar box and look at them. I can just look at them all day while I'm working. They'll be right there behind my computers, so I'll have the luxury of just glancing up and checking them all out every day. So hope you enjoyed this, and like always, stay tuned for the next one. Peace.